Recording. Cool. As I think I talked to you guys already, I wanted Erinn to come on for a lot of reasons. Partially because I like her style. It's all business, not all business. I mean, you can't be all business in this business. You've got to have a heart, but I love the balance that she has between the heart and the hustle, I guess, for without trying to sound corny. And I like how for her, and it gets overused, the whole diamond is a decision thing, but she made a decision last year, and I like it when people just, get it. And it's like, no, you know what? I know how to do this now, and I'm actually gonna do what I say. So Erinn, without further ado, oh yeah, she's in 6-star qual. Yeah, how many more weeks?
5.
Five.
I'm
Just started 6-star.
yeah.
Cool. But again, 5's the big one. I always say after 5, it's gravy, which is really cool. So she's gone from diamond to 6-star qual in 1 year. So kind of shows you that anything's possible when you actually get that mind switch. So go ahead, Erinn.
Cool. Thanks so much for asking me to be here. It's like super exciting and an honor for me. So I really, really appreciate it. Mike was asking me how I onboard coaches. And at first I was like, well, I don't really strictly invite to coaching. Every single one of my coaches was a challenger first. And I think that is a huge differentiation for us and our success, because really what we do is we breed Beachbody believers. And that's really my process. So I want to take you guys through that process right from the beginning and how I kind of see it through to the end. So to be honest, from the very beginning, my number one focus is on quality people. Quality people. I'm not looking for the weird girl who follows me and keeps messaging me and asking me things that like we're not jiving with. Like, no, I'm looking for the girls that I work with, the girls that I know are strong, independent, amazing women, the girls that I feel like are like me. And right from the beginning, when you get quality people in your community becomes quality. So I really encourage you to not go for the low-hanging fruit, the easy people, and really invite those scary people that you think will laugh in your face. Because those are the people that you want. And maybe those are the people that will take longer to come on your team. But ultimately, when you have strong, amazing people on your team, they will do strong, amazing things. So first and foremost, I invite those strong, amazing people to our challenge group just to work out with me. Just like, I never even talk about the business. We're doing this workout program. It's so fun. Want to do it with us. And then when they say yes, and that's super exciting, that's when it begins. So right from the beginning, I try really hard to make them feel welcome, make them feel like they're part of our community, make them feel like to loop them into the fold. We put them in a small group because our community is pretty big now. So every month we do a new small group, and then they'll come into that small group and we'll focus on them like solely for 3 weeks. I put my people, only my challengers who come into that group in a small chat pod. And we're like BFFs throughout that whole month. We set them up with accountability partners too, because I'm super busy and I'm not going to be able to comment on every single one of their check-ins. So I want to make sure that somebody is, and if they have an accountability partner, they will be that person for each other. And then what I do is I send them mail, like snail mail in the mail. I'll send them like a branded letter that I make on Vistaprint, like card with our sisterhood logo on it, and just short and sweet. So excited to have you with us. Like, welcome to the sisterhood. And I'll put in samples of whatever they don't get. Not gonna lie, I spend a lot of money on samples. Like Courtney and I, a year ago, we did a big party at our house and we spent over $500 on samples. And from there, ever since then, oh, good morning. Ever since then, it's just been a thing. Like, if we want people to use these products, A, they need to see us using them, and B, we need to let them try them because they're expensive just to buy to try. So we send everybody samples. And it's important that you don't say, hey, I'm sending you something in the mail. Like, no, this is a total surprise. Make their day, come to the mailbox and see something exciting, okay? Okay. So that's what we do first. And then I watch for those who work on, and because this is the thing, maybe we'll get I'll have 5 to 10 new challengers every month in our new challenge group that we do every 3 weeks. Not everybody's doing the workouts. Not everybody's checking in every day. Not everybody's encouraging their accountability partner. And that's okay. I'll check in with those people once a week and say, hey, haven't seen you. How are you doing? What's up? But those aren't my people. They're not willing to do the work. They're not showing up for themselves, or they're not ready. And I'm not saying that I disregard them. I'm definitely encouraging them through the 3 weeks, but I know they're not my coach potential. Either they're not ready, or they're simply not the workers I'm looking for. Because on my team, I want strong, independent workers, because I don't have time to pull around the people who aren't going to do it on their own. So I watch for those who are working, and those who are working, that's like people who are like showing up every day, they're sweaty selfies, encouraging people, all of that, they're my people. And from there, I praise and recognize them like mad in the group, in our chat pod, alone. Like, I see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for encouraging other people. It's people like you who are making this community like build up, build up, build up, build up over the course of the 3 weeks. And I'm watching their stories. I'm watching their social media. I'm not necessarily encouraging them to put anything out there, but I'm watching to see if they do. But ultimately, those people are my BFFs for the month, like hardcore love on them. And really from there, I'm focusing on getting them a transformation. And whether that transformation is physical, mental, with food, emotional, whatever it is, I'm just helping them to get through the best 3 weeks of their life. So at the end of the 3 weeks, they feel like the best person ever. This is like some morning look, right? I encourage them to use the products. Like I said, I send out the samples. I ask them how they're liking it. I ask them how they're making their Shakeology, and I encourage like them sharing their recipes or what they're doing in the group. So that if somebody comes up and has like an amazing something they're eating or whatever, I always encourage them to share in the group, because it helps with the group getting more quality value, and it helps them get used to sharing. And then, like I said, I really focus on thanking them for being a leader, thanking them for inspiring others. And really from there, there's 3 things that happen. And these are like literally, I'm just watching for it. 1, quality people who love stuff talk about the stuff that they love. So if I'm giving this person an amazing experience and they love it and they're amazing, they're going to start talking about that to their other amazing friends. Or they start actually talking about it on social media. They share their experience, they share how they're feeling, they share their transformation, whatever. Or talk about it, share on social media, or share their transformation in the group. So those 3 things happen, nearing the end of the group. And when those 3 things happen, I'm ready for the discussion. And it's not like oh my God, you're going to be an amazing coach. It's like, I almost never even say the C word, because I feel like people are totally turned off of it. Anybody who is watching me is like, there's no way I can do what you're doing. And there's no way that that's for me. Nobody starts with us and thinks that they're going to kill this. Nobody thinks that they're good at it. Nobody thinks that they can. And that's the big hurdle. It's not even the sharing on social media it's they literally don't think that they can. So it's about pouring belief and having an open discussion on how they feel. Like, it's a truly emotional discussion of, how are you? How do you feel today? How do you feel compared to you were 3 weeks ago? Have you been talking about it with your friends and family? What are your friends and family saying? Are they happy for you? Do you have any friends who have said that they want to do this too? Like, really just opening that discussion. Sometimes they come to me and they're like, man, my friend wants to do this too. Awesome. And I know that discussion is going to be leading to, why don't we have you sign them up and you guys can do it together? But it's really a soft approach of pouring belief that they can inspire other people, that they have what it takes to help other people, not necessarily to like be all out there on social media and share their stuff every day like I'm doing, but really, do you think there's other people who could benefit from this too? Are there other people who in your life who you think would benefit from this? And from there, like, I really just plant a seed. From there, we invite them to a What Is Coaching call. So we do a What Is Coaching call, I'd say every 3, sometimes 2-3 weeks, always near the end of the month, because we start our new coaches at the beginning of a month. That's another thing. I am done signing up coaches near the end of the month. I only sign up coaches at the beginning of the month because for me, elite points, I want them to get their first points in the first of the month, and I want them to have the best chance to hit Success Club in their first month. So I'm not signing up somebody as a coach on the 27th of May. I'm just not anymore. And I'll be flat out and say, I want you to have the best chance to hit your first goals in your first month. So we're signing you up on June 1st. Maybe that's the wrong approach for you. If you have SC goals and you haven't hit them, for me, by the end of the month, I've always hit my SC goals, and them, I'd rather give them and me the best chance to getting elite and Success Club points at the beginning of the month. So we do our What is Coaching call, like we did one on Thursday. And then what we do on that, Courtney and I and Jen lead it. And then we always have two other coaches on there as well. Everybody tells their stories on how they never thought this would be for them, and now it has, and how it's changed their life. And then we do kind of like an FAQ of like social media, how much it costs, how much time, all that kind of stuff, like the blatant questions that people have. And it's become a super repetitive call for us because we're literally saying the same thing every month, but it's very effective. We have a huge response rate from it because we have 4 or 5 like inspiring, amazing people saying how they doubted themselves and didn't think they could do this, and how it's now changed their life. And often the people who are on see themselves in one of the people there, right? They relate to one of the stories and are like, okay, I'll give it a try. Last month, I had one girl who I was like, this girl's going to kill it. I know she's going to be amazing. But after the call, she was like, it's not for me. I don't think I can. I don't have a really good transformation yet. Like, I've really just kind of gotten started. And I was like, no problem. Like, I never try and convince somebody. Like, I let them come to it on their own. Like, no problem. I totally get it. And then I left it for a day or two. And then I sent her a clip. It was like a 3-minute screen, like video, what do you call it? Like where you like screen record. I sent her a 3-minute screen recording of a video of Melissa made, where she was talking about how you don't need to have a good transformation to be a good coach, and how you only have to be one workout or one meal ahead of people to inspire them. And I screen recorded it. I sent it to her and I was like, I saw this and I thought of you right away. And I just left it. Like, people need to come to their decisions on their own. Like I said, I want independent, strong, working people, right? You just send them the info. And then she came back and she was like, okay, I'm going to do it. She's literally signed up in like 3 weeks. She signed up, like, I think she has 5 coaches. She's at SC16. Like, the girl was meant to do this. She just needed the info. So that's something I've started doing too, is sending different videos, recordings of top coaches who talk about different objections. What's the question? She can play and that's kind of the process. I'll be honest. It's not like cut and dry for everybody, but I'm really ultimately just watching for the people who are working the hardest and who believe the most in Beachbody, because those who love the products talk about it, and those who believe in it, it's an easy coach, right? Like, the reason I don't invite people right to coaching is because then I'd be inviting them to be a sales rep, and they won't be good at it. And even if we have people who come in who are interested in coaching, we always say, at least do 21 Day Fix first, and like, forget about coaching and just pour yourself into the program 100% and see how you like it. See how you feel, see your reaction. Because otherwise it's just not genuine. Any questions? No. I think that's it. That's really my process up to now.
Erinn, it's Deb.
Hey, Deb.
Phenomenal. I mean, my God. 2 questions. Number 1, at what point did the sisterhood break off into these smaller challenge groups? So what point did you feel like you got too big? Do you remember?
No, I don't have a good memory, so I don't know. We've been doing them a while, at least a year, like a long time. Because what we found is that people in our big community, they were a well-oiled machine. So adding people in, they just felt lost. They didn't have the support. Okay. So it was better for us to do like a full prep week and everything with them.
Okay. And then my second question is, so you only sign people up as customers, okay, because of the elite point situation. Okay.
No, I just don't have the coaching conversation yet.
No, but I mean, do you sign them up as you don't sign people up as a discount coach from
No,
the
I don't.
get-go? You do not.
I don't. I did at the beginning. When I was trying to get to diamond, like my first year for sure. What I do is I tell people, okay, we're setting you up with all the products. Try the products, see if you love them. If you love them, let's connect so we can make sure you can get a discount on them moving forward. If you don't, make sure that you cancel.
Okay, thank you.
Because like I really feel like a discount coach is a disservice to somebody who actually wants to run this business. If I signed up somebody as a discount coach and then they realized 3-4 months later that they want to run this business, they've lost out on Success Starter. I've lost out on Elite Points, and it's just like, just sucks. Like I didn't get Success Starter because I started for the discount way before I was willing to work.
Okay, thank you. Good approach.
But it's not the same for everybody. Like if you're shooting for diamond and you need discount coaches, then yeah, you're talking about the discount right away.
Melinda had a question about bod groups, but before you answer it, ironically, as you're saying that, I think Melinda signed up on December 31st.
Like that's just the worst. I can't even imagine.
I had no idea what I was doing.
I wasn't thinking either. So at that point, yeah. Anyway, she had a question about chat pods versus the bod groups, if you're using them.
We haven't started bod groups yet. We wanted to wait until some of the kinks were out. We are actually we're branding it a test group to test out our new private app on Monday. So we have a small group starting on Monday, and we're all going to be testing it out together. And this way they can expect hiccups and bad things because we're telling them that this is like, we're testing it out and we really want your feedback. So we're hopeful that way, if it's not great, then we can say, okay, it doesn't work for us and move on. So yeah, we're trying it out. We'll see. But we do chat pods for like, we do our Start Strong. Everybody in our downline pretty much adds to it, unless some people now have started doing their own Start Strongs every month. But so it actually can get pretty big. So I always do a chat pod with just my challengers. I know Court does the same too.
So Erinn, it's Rachel. So I just want to be like, you don't do a whole group. It's just a chat pod for the new people. And they're also in the sisterhood big group, or you leave them out?
Do a whole group.
Oh, okay.
We do a whole group. It's just that I want my people to be my BFFs. So I keep them close in that chat pod, and the chat pod's really where I engage the most. And then the group is where it's more formal. Like everybody's doing their check-ins and all that kind of stuff. No, we definitely do both. How do you handle those challengers that don't have Facebook? They miss out. And they're not going to be a coach. Like if somebody doesn't have Facebook and they're scared of social media, they're not my people. Like, and this is the thing, at some point you have to get a little cutthroat on who you're looking for. Like Mike was asking me to look over social media, and I was like, okay, so who are you talking to? Like from what lens should I be looking at this? And it kind of gave us a great discussion on really knowing who your target market is, who you're looking for. And if you don't have like a super clear cut vision of who you want, then you're talking to you're not talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So the more clear you are on the people you're looking for, like somebody who doesn't have Facebook, not my person. Sorry, find somebody else. Like I also have had people, I'm sure you guys have had too, where they message me and they're like, I'm on the hunt for a coach who will do this for me. And I'm always like, awesome, good luck. Like, see you later.
Serial switchers, yeah. And what would you say your percentage ratio is of customer/coaches IG versus Facebook right now? Or has it been changing?
It's always IG. I would say I'm getting 90% IG, and then Facebook is me reaching out to the like delves of my past, trying to find people, but it's mostly IG, 100%, I would say, even really.
And really fast, and I know, like, see if you can do this in 30 seconds, your a day at a glance, the amount of time that you're doing this, because I know you have a full-time job, I know you have kids, and I know that's most people's issue is time.
Yeah. Right now it's so different because we're at home and my work schedule is so weird now. So I'll say normally what I would do is I get up, I do my workout, I do my own stuff, get to work. I work all day. At lunch hour, I am a ninja on my lunch hour. I don't eat with colleagues. I don't socialize anymore. I find a quiet space and I work for an hour. And that, to me, honestly, and now that I have more time at home, I'm definitely less efficient. The less time you have, the more efficient you have to be. So it's you literally have a timer and that's the amount of time you have. So I would spend 20 minutes reaching out to new people, 20 minutes connecting with people who were following me, and 20 minutes who were people who were following me but not engaged with me. And I would do that for 60 minutes every lunch hour. Then after work, sometimes I would sit at my desk and craft content before I would leave to go pick up my kids, and post it then or save it to post at night. Then I would have my kids, we'd do dinner, their activities, I put them to bed, and then I'd spend 2 to 3 hours at night in talking to people. So that's literally for sure at least hour at lunch, hour after work, 2-3 hours after night. So 4 to 5 hours.
So that's your biggest switch, would you say, is the amount of time you're connecting with people, or what are you doing differently now? It's just connecting.
Just connecting. It's sometimes if I really want to feel bad about myself, I'll scroll down through all the messages of people not responding back. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's so bad. But honestly, that's it. It's messaging, connecting, engaging on other people's stuff, being present. And I will say, I don't watch TV with my husband at night anymore. Our kids go to bed, he watches TV and I work. So there's definitely sacrifice. It takes an element of obsession, literally all of my free time I put to this. So it's how much you really are willing to sacrifice, to be honest. Are you able to speak to how you get your coaches from sign up to diamond? Honestly, it for me, to be completely honest, it is a testament to the quality of people I'm signing up, and that I'm focusing right at the get-go of people who will work and people who want it for themselves, people who are autonomous. One of my old girlfriends who we worked together years ago, she signed up and I knew she's a VP with RBC and she is a workhorse. And I signed her up and she just had a baby. She's on mat leave, signed up, have her in the challenge group. And then after a month and a half, she's like, oh yeah, I have friends who want to do this too. How do we sign them up? And I was like, you can do it. And she's like, oh, okay. And then signed her up and she's like, what do I do? I have 10 people who want to do it. And I was like, awesome. Put them in a group and lead them. She has 40 people now. She's 1 emerald away from diamond, and that she started working out in January. It's really just about it's your network. Think about the amazing people in your network, those who are willing to work hard. Those are the people you invite to work out with you, and let it happen naturally. If you give them a great experience, they will talk about it. So I don't think that answered your question really, but it's people.
Oh,
To diamond. I'm not getting people to diamond. They're getting themselves to diamond.
It's that quality start, Erinn. That is, you just hit me over the head. It's the low hanging fruit that you're well, and then the rest goes from there. So hugely important. Thank you.
No problem.
Can I ask that, Erinn, then? I might have missed at the beginning. Did you find that was a slower process for you then in terms of growing the business, or this is something you've come to realize the further along in your business you've come?
It definitely takes longer to get quality people to join. That girl Carissa has been watching me this entire time, and she's like, I've been curious, what are you doing? But it took me balls. It took me to have enough strength and balls to ask her to do it. So A, that takes time, and B, it takes time for people who are serious professionals to consider something like this. So you can get low hanging fruit to join you quickly. You're not going to get the workhorses to join you right away.
So everything that you're talking about, hi, Erinn. So everything that you're talking about, just like you explained, right now is basically what you're covering, your social media with, you're not doing the groomed, and I hate to say this word, but you know how when you're a coach, you're kind of groomed to 1 week you talk about the business, and then 2 weeks out you talk about the challenge group. You're not groomed. I hate using that word, but it's the only one I can really use. You're not groomed to do that. You're basically just conveying who you're looking for. Like that's really basically it, but putting it in these little snippets.
Sorry, are you saying I'm not groomed or I'm not grooming?
You're not grooming, but then you
No.
also kind of went really off the beaten path, like not to have that post that's, okay, I'm looking for 10 women who want to do this with me. You know what I'm saying?
No, all of my success is in my DMs. And anything that I'm putting on my social media is supplementary advertising, so that if they've ghosted me and they're still watching, they'll be like, oh, right, she messaged me about that. Anytime I'm doing polls or advertisements, I'm not expecting anybody to respond. It's really supplementary to the messages I'm sending everybody, as like another reminder.
Yeah, that's huge. That's completely different.
So in your, just to carry on with that, so in your stories then you're not talking business as much as lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not talking
I'm talking about my life. And so like, for instance, this morning, I'll say that I'm doing this morning. So I share about like what I'm doing. And I'll talk about our new coaches and what they're doing, but I guess I'm not blatantly saying I'm looking for this kind of person to join my team. Because the other thing is that I'm not just looking for anybody, and I want it to be exclusive. And when I invite somebody to that coaching, what is coaching call, I'm inviting them because I think they'd be great. Not just this wide cast nest of whoever's watching my stories come be a coach.
Erinn, can you talk about like your Start Strong group and then your ongoing group?
Yeah.
You know, I find sometimes people that are new need like 1 or 2 times to kind of fall in love with the process, but are you doing like, what kind of content are you doing in your Start Strong group? And then when you roll those people over at the end of that month or 21 days, are you always putting them on 21 Day Fix and then rolling them over? Do you come up with new content in your ongoing virtual one? And then what do you guys do in your Start Strong to like keep engagement high?
It's pretty basic. I'm not going to lie. We do a prep week where we go through the like nutrition plan, mindset stuff, choosing a program, all that kind of stuff. Thanks, sweetie. It's basic. And then we do a check-in every day, and then we'll do some periodic posts. It's not extraordinary. And then it's really focused on the program, to be honest. Like, and anybody who's most do 21 Day Fix, but really it's personal. So if somebody wanted to do bar or somebody's invested in boxing or whatever, they do what fits for them. And then our ongoing group is to be honest, has become its own thing. The people who check in every day there are so committed to the community and themselves and their journey. Courtney and I try and add some sort of motivation or inspiration or recipe or something here and there, but it's not like, it's probably nothing different than what you're doing, Candy.
Well, I find like, I mean, obviously there's the challenge group posts and then we all have like a 21 day post, but it's just too much sometimes. And like, I know some people just do like a blanket check-in and then fill in more, like you said, with an occasional post.
Our check-ins have no words.
Yeah.
Courtney and I, we always say TLDR, too long didn't read. Like we're not the kind of person like that will sit and read the long 7-paragraph post. I don't have time. And to be honest, the people in my group don't have time for that either. Our check-ins are a picture. Monday check-in, like basic. And then we'll do posts of inspiration that are short. Our people are busy and don't have time to read all of the stuff. And I don't have time to write all of the stuff.
Yeah. And then in your like ongoing, at the end of that challenge, you roll them over into an ongoing group. Do you guys just do check-ins there? Like not a lot of wording, same thing?
Same thing. It's a relatively autonomous thing. And I think that's also maybe the difference for us, is that we're not pulling people along to figure out their own health and fitness journey. We're giving them the tools so that they can do it on their own.
Well, and I find like people too that I talk to, there's like, there's no way I can write all these posts and come up with this content all the time. And I'm like, that's where I think maybe people are like, I don't want to do all of that. So maybe we need to pare it down, make it an easier thing.
But like she said, then if you have too much as well, then you're spending all your time I don't want to say pulling people along to their fitness even.
Yeah.
It's like she's not messing around. It's like, yes, I'm your coach, but come on, I'm not here to write, sorry, Rachel, I'm just, because you said that, I'm not here to write 5 posts a day and to make sure then I'm not being a CEO of my own business. Then I'm being a babysitter in a group.
So I'll spend 20 minutes on a Sunday and do posts for the whole week. But it's like, it's more visuals than anything. It's not a lot of long written inspiration. It's just not my style.
And if you're spending all your time responding to all your posts during the day, you have 0 time to find business builders, right? Sorry,
and we do the same. Like we do a check-in in the morning, check-in, and it's just a picture, and it's like Monday check-in, Tuesday check-in. And now what I'm finding is the coaches that I have in my group, because we work together sometimes, they're like, okay, I'll do next week, because it's just so easy, right? And it's totally doable. And we still have our stuff from the blog for the night post, so.
But then you're taking the time to actually make sure that people check in. Like in your power hour somewhere, you're putting, I'm speaking to Erinn, because I think I heard your sister say she has like a list of her challengers and she checks off if they checked in, and they get a message if they didn't.
So what we're doing now is we have an assistant that we share who just checks our people. And she has a listing of all the people that we have that month. And she'll send me something at the end of the week with check marks to see who showed up every week, who showed up every day.
Right.
And that is invaluable.
She's marking for you. You have a TA.
Yeah. Yep. And she does some comments. She'll comment for me 3 days a week because I want to still be able to like actually have my own engagement with them. And then on Sundays, I'll see who actually showed up all week. And it validates for me who I'm watching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's smart.
Worth it.
Does she work in both, like, both of your challenge groups? She works in the prep one too, or
Yep.
the strong one too?
Yep. She mostly does the strong one because that's the one I'm really paying attention to every month.
Right. Okay. That's smart. Thank you.
So Erinn, is that to say that like when you sign up, because I never put a date on when I start a group, I have an ongoing one. So is that to say that when you sign people up, say for May, you'll tell all of them like, okay, our start date is this, and until then we'll just prep and be ready?
Yeah. So we do it every 3 weeks. Because we found if we didn't have something to invite to, we weren't inviting as aggressively. So now it's like we have something starting on Monday, I'm aggressively inviting to that. And then once that starts, to be honest, I'll invite to it until Wednesday and be like, it's not too late, you can jump in. And then from Wednesday, I'm starting to talk about the next one. And then there's a bit of a lull. I'm not getting people signing up right away. But then I'll get people, I think it's good to have a deadline because otherwise it's like, you can join us anytime. There's no urgency. This way it's like, okay, so if you're not in for this one, I'll loop back with you next time. And then I'll set like a reminder to loop back with them a week or two before and say, we missed you last time. Now's your time. Let's get you ready.
Any last questions before Angela? You had one, I think.
Yeah. Do you spend any time speaking in your like IG or Facebook stories? So like how often are you doing that?
Like just speaking at all?
Yeah. Cause it seems like
every
you're
day.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't at first. I was shy AF. It took me like a year, honestly. It took me a long time. I still don't really go live because I'm super like, what am I going to talk about? I'm nervous. And I don't honestly think that my people are the kind of people that will catch a live anyways. So it doesn't matter. But I try and speak on my stories every day.
And like, when were you squeezing that in when you were physically going to work?
Honestly, I would do it when I was walking into the building. Like I would be like, just listen to this podcast talking about this, like crazy morning with the kids, whatever. Walk into work, I would talk. Like if you're going to attract the people like you and you feel like you have no time, then you have to do it during your real life. And then people will see how you squeeze it in. And I always felt like I looked best because I was like, just got dressed and I had my nice clothes on. It was perfect.
Thank you.
Question, and it's time management related too. Did you ever have to have like So something that's been coming up on my team a lot lately is like crotchety, cranky husbands over screen time, and to be a thing that's happening. I don't know if it's just because we've all been in isolation for so long that now we were having this conversation on in my team chat the other day. Like my husband's I had to literally tell him what I'm doing, and it's taken him some time to come around. Do you have any tips?
Yeah, this is something that we've started talking about in our training, and about the change of culture in your household, because it's true. It's a change of culture in the household. You no longer have free time to do whatever you want all of the time. You are going to be taking pictures of your food, which like my husband was like, stop taking pictures of our dinner. Like it is a change of culture. And the more honest you are with your spouse on what you want out of this, why you're doing it, what you envision for it, the more they're going to be supportive of you. Like ultimately your spouse loves you and wants you to be happy and wants the best for you, right? But if they don't know why you're doing this, what this means, what you're working towards, then it's going to be hard for them to understand why they're the ones being sacrificed, right? So for me, I work every night, and then come Friday, I don't work Friday nights. Saturday, I don't typically work, and Saturday nights I don't work. Sunday, I start working around like in the afternoon to get ready for the week. But that's a discussion with my spouse, so he knows what to expect. Like there was a good 6 months, even though he knew I worked every night, we'd put the kids to bed. He's like, so are you working? And I was like, yes, you know the schedule. Like it takes time. I also have a coach on my team whose spouse at the beginning was like, I refuse for you to take pictures in our house. I don't want anybody to know what our house looks like. Like she literally had rooms that they'd agreed to that she could take pictures in. And he was like, I don't want to be in any, I don't want to be on social media at all. And he's now to the point, he's seen how much she's grown, how much happier she is, how much money they're making now as a third income, that he's like, hey, the other day he's like, hey, you should really figure out how you could do this full time and quit your job. Like it ultimately, they come around, but it ultimately takes a lot of honesty, and it takes time. Like they need to see what this actually could be, but you have to be vocal. So we're starting to talk about it with new coaches, like right from the get-go. It's an elephant in the room. Everybody goes through it, whether with your spouse or your friends or whatever. It's a change of culture in your life, and you have to be ready for it, to be like honest about it.
And you have to teach your kids how to be photographers.
Totally. I just made my daughter
I
take
love
pictures.
that. I was watching that going, oh, that's awesome. I love it.
JP knows not to touch his food until I take a pic. Yeah. It's a real issue for sure.
Any last questions, seeing as it's a Saturday?
Erinn, can you just share a little bit about like posting on your feed? I know that is something I have to always overcome, of getting my words out and posting on my feed and having the time to come up with a post and content. Just also for your coaches, how you're helping them post more regularly. And
yeah, I think honestly, you need to find a time throughout the day that you're most creative and most inspired to write. And if you feel something, then to write it right away, and whether you're going to post it then or not, but just to like get the words out. I don't post every day. I feel like my people would be annoyed with me constantly like posting every day. I'm in my stories every day for sure, but I don't post on my feed every day. I also don't have ideas of things to post every single day. So I try and do every second day. If by the third day I haven't posted, I'm like, damn, I'm posting today. Like it has to happen. I don't know what to say, Cammie. I struggle too. I think everybody struggles. It's a matter of finding the times finding the times I'm creative. And if I'm really feeling something, I post about it. Like if every single time my coaches are like, I'm struggling with this, I don't know what to do about this, I'm like, post about it, write about it, post about it. Like, because whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through, that's what you should be sharing. That's how you share authentically. So if you're struggling with whatever you're going through right now, that's what you're posting about.
So you hit 6-star diamond without posting every day. It just goes to show you how the business is built, in the connections behind the scenes that people don't see. It's not a field of dreams where you build it and they will come. It's the work behind the scenes, those power hours, right? And whether your power hour is broken up into 3 20-minute periods in your day, and recess, lunchtime, and your second recess if you're a teacher or what. That's where the biz is built, not in the beautiful, perfect, I mean, those are supplementary, obviously, but it's not in that perfectly worded post. It's not in the perfectly, hire a photographer type of picture.
And it's finding people who are willing to do that kind of autonomous work on their own. Like, you can't do this work for somebody. You can motivate and inspire and encourage them, but ultimately for your coaches to be successful, they need to want to do the work on their own. So it's finding quality people who are willing to work autonomously. And for me, that's right from the get-go. You see that in the challenge groups.
That first step, and I love that. I think we'll summarize this call on that. It's that first step of who you're looking for and who you're attracting is going to dictate the success, not only of them, but of you and your business growth as well. Thanks, Erinn. If you guys have any more, feel free. She might not answer because she's all business and this is the end of the call, but I'm just kidding. I love your attitude. It's been a real kick in the ass for me. So thank you on behalf of everybody. I'll post the recording later. Have a great Saturday, and thanks, Erinn. That was amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Erinn.
Bye, thank you.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, myself included, focus on too much of the fluff as opposed to the actual work. So
I
was
love
awesome.
the emphasis of quality from the beginning.
Oh.
I love. And I was just like literally looking through my challenge group as she was speaking, and I'm like, oh, okay, these 3 women are coach material per her formula that I've been pouring into, but not pouring into. Like the rest who I'm dragging, who don't check in, bye. Like she just made that so clear. I'm like, she's amazing.
And little things, just the mail of a energize and a recover sample or something. It's just, I love pure business. Smart.
She's such a smart woman. She's brilliant.
Yeah, because I think sometimes I was sending mail, but it wasn't product. Like I was giving other little treats, like a headband or whatever. But yeah, we want people to fall in love with our stuff, right? So I ordered an extra box of stick packs.
Yeah, I just sent a whole, I was at the post office and spent a ton of money just sending out a bunch of samples to awesome clients and potentials. And I love how it's so funny because my husband's a chiropractor and we have our own clinic. And years ago when he was smaller and I came into his office to kind of take over managing it, I'm like, okay, we need to set up processes and everything as if we are at this way further on than so you set it up and work it as if you're at a place that you want to be 5 years from now. And it's such a great reminder to me, just how she was saying, the check-in posts have no words, because I'm always I just have a heart to inspire and encourage, but sometimes it can feel like a lot, right? When you're scheduling posts to think of something fresh every day to say. So I love that.
It depends what you want out of the business. If that's what brings you joy, then that's what you have to do. But what brings her joy is building a big team and a big income. But that's not for everybody, right? That's not, and I'm not saying her way is the way to do it. You have to do this in a way and always that makes you happy. Otherwise you're going to burn out really fast. And if you need to balance a little bit of, that with, well, I actually get more joy out of, seeing people succeed or getting people transformations. Awesome. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I think you can have a balance. I wanted her to come on because I needed to push the needle this way. And it starts with the people I'm just trying to attract anybody right now. And that's my biggest fault. I can tell you right off the bat is I'm going for the low hanging fruit first. I'll take whoever. And I'm just who wants to join my group? For me, it's that I wanted to hear it from somebody that it starts with finding those people. And it's hard if you're brand new you just want one person. It's like, no, I can't be that fussy. Like, I'm taking any fruit, whether it fell off the apple and it's bruised on the floor, I'll take it. I get that. That's me too some months. But that's why I think what some people will do is push really hard to find, 3 challengers in the first week. And then after that, they spend the next 3-4 weeks of that month strictly looking for their coach, their people. So I get it. It's not easy. And again, she's been doing this a while, and it takes time to get that confidence and that consistency over 2 years to be able to say, no, I want you.
Yeah, and Mike, you know what? She's constantly, like, I just looked at her IG feed. She's constantly talking about her vision and where she's going, constantly. There isn't one post that she is not talking about her vision and where this is taking her. She's not doing, I'm looking for 10 people, drop an emoji, because that's what I'm doing too. And I'm just like, no, like, nobody wants to drop an emoji. And honestly, after this call, I don't want those people.
Like the post I did the other day. Yeah. Thank you for calling.
But it's funny you say that, Joe.
I did it too, Mike. I did it too.
No, guilty. Go ahead, Rach.
I was gonna say, it's funny you say that, Joe, because she is very clear in her vision, because everyone and their mother knows that Erinn wants a cottage. That's all she talks about, her dream cottage. Like, that's where this train is going for her. So talk about what you want. Like, I'm clearly never moving. So you know what I mean? Like, talk about what you want.
I've heard that more in the past 3 months with successful coaches, is showing people where you're going and where you're going to end up. And if you want to jump on the train, for lack of a better, that's what the successful coaches are doing, is this is what I'm doing and this is where I'm going. If you want to come. If not, that's fine.
Although after isolation, I do not know if my dream of bringing home John Paul is still my dream.
Yeah. I hear you. Change that.
That was an eye-opener for sure. No doubt. Thank you, Mike. That was a great call.
Yeah, I love those types of ones. It's like info and a slap in the face at the same time.
Because Mike, too, like, our groups are huge. People can get very lost very quickly.
And I get it. And some people are like, well, I don't have that many new people to start a pod with at the beginning of each month. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's a double-edged sword sometimes, right? It's like, well, if I don't have those people, how do I start the pod?
What if you do?
But I mean, like, I don't know.
Sorry, Rachel.
Sorry, go ahead, Heather. Go, Heather.
What if you combined it? Like, if I only got 2 people, Joe only has 3 people, and if you did it together, then you at least have a little more.
Which is what she did with Courtney to begin with, right? You got to start somewhere. So maybe you team up with 2 or 3 people and you have that little, okay, I have 2 leaders. But yeah, anyway, it all starts with who you're attracting.
That's what you do, Rachel, right? With Robin and Chantel.
No, we just do it with coaches. So we have a few coaches that are in coach jail because they quit and they're waiting for 6 months, and they all came from the same team. So we just put those people together until they're out of coach jail, just because they knew each other already. But like if you don't have enough people to start a whole new Facebook group, just a chat pod would do it too. Like, throw that check-in post in your chat pod every morning when you wake up.
So she has her group, her like big
sisterhood
group.
Yeah.
What a nice husband, bringing tea. Has the big group, and then it's just a chat pod, like a messenger pod, or it's a whole Facebook group.
A whole Facebook group, but she does that with Courtney. And then her chat pod on top of that is just hers. So like, say her and Courtney have 15 new people together, and then she'll have her 7 in her own chat pod.
So she has 3 things going for that. So a new coach.
The ongoing group.
A new coach doesn't go in the ongoing group. A new coach only goes in the new Facebook group,
right?
And her chat pod.
Yeah.
Yeah. New challenger. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to ask her too. I wonder if she recycles the same Start Strong group and just moves everybody out. There's a lot of groups to be starting.
I think they do.
I talked to her. She doesn't. She told me she does a new one.
Oh, they do.
Oh, okay.
I thought they did. Everybody.
I thought the same thing, because then she'd have to go and erase all the stuff that she put in there, and that's even more work. So it's probably easier just to do a new one.
Yeah. So I sign up Heather. she goes in my Facebook group.
No, they
for-
don't put them in the big
They
one.
don't put them in the
No.
big one. They put them in a small 3-week group.
Yeah.
Erin actually put me in there so that I could check it out to see how they did it. And she's right. She literally just puts a picture and it says day 1 check-in. And then people are checking in there. After that 3 weeks, they get moved over to the main group. And then she starts a whole new 3-week group.
During those 3 weeks, she's in a messenger chat pod where she's being their BFF.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Heather,
You could do that on bod groups too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
at the end, Heather, of that 21 days or whatever, does she just put up a link to like the ongoing group and say, click here and join yourself? Or do they make the effort to get everybody over there?
I haven't seen that yet. I think theirs is coming to the end, so I'll see if she's gonna put something to put them over there. I'm thinking she might just throw them all over in there. I think she's got her list of girls, and then she just puts them in there on their own. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I feel like a bod group would work, no, Melinda, for that? Like,
Yeah.
especially for the type of people she's attracting. It's just an app. I check in on the app, in, out.
For the,
Then you're not
like,
constantly cleaning out Facebook groups all the time.
and for the bod groups, I just set one up for June, and I really liked how it went up. Like, you can put testimonials right in there, and I didn't have to go searching for them. Each one was like, which testimonial would you like? And I'm like, oh, I like this one. And it's like, anyways, I'm just finding it's nice. And anytime your work plays to the 75%, it logs it automatically. So it's just very simple. And then for your posts, you can reuse them. So you don't even have to schedule out your posts. You just say, create, like I'm creating June right now, and it'll have prep week, and it'll have all my day 1 to 21. And then for when I'm ready for July, I'll just say copy June, and it like magically puts them all over there.
Melinda, is the scheduling working? Some people are saying the schedule posts weren't working. They're working.
It
Okay.
works for me. I've been running my ADD obsession group in there since the day bod groups launched. Like, I already had an ADD obsession going, and I just leaned on, and I've never had a problem with scheduling. I did have a problem with people not being able to log their workout, but